Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. But they don't do that. They take the money and keep it for themselves. Because they're a bunch of crooks. In any case, all mortgages are paid off at closing. There's no question about it. We know that. That's why you sign a promissory note. And that promissory note is converted to legal tender and given back to you. Okay? To keep it simple, that's what happens. You go to the bank today, they have no money, they have no sack of money to give you. They say to you, sign this piece of paper, right? You sign the piece of paper. They're going to take the piece of paper and convert it to legal tender and say, come back next week. Next week, they give you the same amount of money, your money, but your legal tender, there you go. Now pay us back with interest. They're going to give you back your money, and they're going to ask you to pay back your money with interest. So that's the trick. That's the fraud. So this is what you write to the bank manager and say, explain to you what you did. You did this. What do you think about it? I need you to answer within so many days. And there's no answer. Not a single bank has come back with anything.
So just gonna ask, so what is the promise? Is it the application form or
The agreement.
is it what is?
You see, when you sign an agreement, there's no security to the agreement. I can say I'm going to do all these things, but there's no agreement. You see. So when you put the promissory note, that's the agreement. Now, they go together. Now this mortgage is secured by this agreement, and it's supposed to stay together. So that when it's assigned, whoever is going to get it gets two documents. You see. So it's like a car. When you go to buy a car, what these guys are doing is this: they're selling a car. I'm the bank. I'm going to sell him. I say, oh, see, do you want a car? Yes. Oh, give me £100. Here's the keys. Oh, thank you. Goodbye. And I go to him. Do you want a car? I'll give me $100. Here's the title. And then I disappear. Yeah. Now, who owns the car? He's got a title. He's got the key. Who owns the car? Same with the mortgage. They've separated the title and the mortgage. I mean, the promissory note and the agreement. You see. So nobody knows who actually owns the mortgage.
They should always be alone.
Together. Yeah, it's called bifurcation. When you separate notes, it's called bifurcation. Once you do that, it becomes invalid. And that's about it.
Bifurcation.
So, bifurcation, it should be in here. We're going to get to it anyway. I think I wrote it down. Yeah. But so those are the solutions. Okay? Before I carry on, is that clear, or do I need to go back on one of these? So there are promissory, where is it? Exemption, birth certificate, promissory note, private bond, proprietary lien, affidavit of information, so you make a claim for fraud against the bank manager, and the counterclaim. You see, so far, there's one more, but I didn't get it down. So are those clear, or is it, do I need to go back to one of these before I carry on?
How do you go about creating a bond?
A bond?
Yes.
If you go in Google, it's going to give you a whole bunch of information. Okay. How to create a bond. These days, information is easy. You just go, how do I create a bond?
The easiest one is to get the birth certificate,
yeah,
and then do the certificate and put it on the other side of it. That's the easiest.
Yeah, but it's not difficult. But you're going to have to use bond paper when you create bonds.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a bond.
That's the bond to it.
Yeah, it has to be in a bond paper.
Okay.
Yeah. But you're going to beautify it and make it nice and sweet. But if you go on images in Google, then you can see various ones, and you can choose how you want to customize yours. But the wording on the bond has to be specific. So everything is on the wording of what you say on it. They won't give you legal advice. Sometimes they send stuff back, but they won't tell you what's wrong with it. And you think, oh, it doesn't work, because you missed a number or something, or you said, they won't tell you what's wrong with it. But the thing is to perfect it. Once you perfect it, then you can send it out all the time.
And the simpler you keep it, the better.
Exactly. Keep it very, very simple.
Because what we've already done, we sent most people a promissory note. Of course, they said we don't accept this, but they didn't send it back to us. But they still want.
It means they've accepted it. They don't send it back.
I know they're making use of it.
Right. The only way they can send it back is if they cite a deficiency or dishonor. That's it. If they don't cite it, then they accept it. What you're meant to do is follow up and say, since you've accepted the promissory note, I expect that you won't write to me again. And if you write to me again, I'm going to take it as harassment and you're trying to defraud me and all this other stuff, because I know you're trading it.
Would we do that rather than try and pay them again with something else or do something else?
Is that for a mortgage?
Just follow up on it.
Think of it like this: if you paid for something, would you go and pay for it again?
No.
It's as simple as that.
The thing is, what they did say was that when we did send them the promissory note,
yep,
they sent us a letter
Yep.
to say that, oh, we don't accept promissory notes.
Yeah, but they're gonna keep it anyway. Yeah, fair enough.
They kept it and they said they don't accept.
That means they've
promissory
accepted
notes. And then they stated how much it was that was still outstanding on the mortgage.
Right. Did you have an allonge with the promissory note?
Did I have
An allonge?
You have to
a
explain that.
lounge?
You send a promissory note with attached to an allonge,
Yeah, what is
which
it?
explains what the law is and how they're gonna accept it. And if they don't accept it, what violations of the law they've done.
No, I don't think we did.
Well, you gotta send a promissory note with an allonge.
Okay. Yes. There was a letter that was attached with it.
It's called an allonge. It explains why they have to
Yes,
accept
yes,
it.
yes, yes,
It also
yes.
explains that if they if they return it, it means they've accepted it anyway.
Yes, there was. Yes, there
See?
was.
So once you've done that, it's just you follow up whatever you say you're going to do in your agreements. You see, that's all. But promissory notes, you can create one every day if necessary. If they say, oh, you didn't accept this one, okay, here's another one then. Yeah, but promissory notes, they work. The trouble is because they're statutory instruments, you see, that's the trouble. I tend not to use them anymore because it's statutes. I try to avoid statutes completely because that's the legal fiction world, you see. We try to keep away from that stuff. We try to remain in here, in the real world, not this fiction. Yeah.
A couple of things. One, the way you were saying about the way they do money, create mortgages,
Yep.
seems to be like a micro factor of the way they create money, right?
Yeah.
And that's
Same-
like the
same
treasury
process.
bond sends it there, and then they come back with the notes that
Same process with.
and it seems to be exactly the same process on micro,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The other thing is it's all about competence.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, I've been doing this for years, but honestly, I don't feel myself I can work it. I'm just, you know, I've got to say, I'm incompetent to deal with this. I understand it, but I just can't get the head
I
around
mean,
it.
the thing with us is because we've done it for a minute, we know what the trick is.
Right.
And the trick is in the language.
Yeah.
See, people get involved in the subject matter. Don't get involved in the trick is the language.
Well, I
That's
feel
all.
like I understand everything, but
You don't.
I don't.
That's because our subconscious, like I said, if you write an A like this, your
Yeah.
subconscious is going to turn it around to make sense of it. That's what you do all the time.
Yeah, all
I
the
can
time.
write you some stuff that doesn't make sense, but because you're smart, your brain's going to fill in the spaces. And to you it's going to make sense, because it has to make sense, because your brain works like that.
I mean, it feels like some type of black magic because I'm so good at learning. I'm a very clever guy. I can learn loads of stuff. Right?
You need to know how
I'm
to
stuff
spell.
like this and I can't bloody work
You
it.
need to know how to spell. You see, that's it.
All right, no, you do.
That's it. You need to know how to spell. Yeah.
Another question. Do promissory notes have to be notarized before you send them, or can you just send promissory notes without any
You
notary?
don't need to notarize the promise,
Yeah,
no.
but it's better if you do that.
You see, you can notarize it yourself.
Or the post
Oh, do you mean the public notary? Or yourself? This is notarization. When you put your thumbprint, that's a notary. Yeah,
But you can get the post office to witness it as well.
yeah. You get post office to witness it. You get a public notary to witness it. Okay, everything is private, right? When you use a public notary, and you're going to use their fake public courts, if you use one of their people, it's very strong. That's why we use the notaries, so they can accept our documents in their jurisdiction. That's been signed by one of their people. That's the only reason. But you can notarize the documents yourself. Yeah, put your seal on it, and that's a notary. Yeah.
So, Trey, just keep on, from your solution so far, which do you think has been the most effective?
Oh boy, the most effective. The one I do is
Most successful?
I claim the property. Yeah, because it's a process that we do. So we write to them and ask them for disclosure. We give them second notice, and then we write a notice of commercial dishonor. That because you failed to disclose, I cannot keep paying you the mortgage. That's it, and then we stop in honor. So give them notice before you stop paying. And you're going to explain why you're going to stop paying, which is all this stuff here. You're going to explain what they did with your account, and then asking for a rebuttal. If they don't rebut, it means that claim stands. And that's how we go.
Do they still take you to court, or do they still try to take you to court?
See, because I have no mortgage, I'm working with people, and it's on their time. Right now, we have no court case, not yet, you see. But if they try, it'll be sweet. Let them try.
I did everything you said. It took me about 2 to 3 years to comprehend it. I, did the disclosure, whatever, freedom of information, got everything. Even did a lot of Michael Benisius stuff. Did everything. They threatened to come on the 12th of the 12th at 10, 12, 12.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
then you-
went to court, to the High Court,
Yeah.
got a master to stop it.
Yeah.
Then they deferred it till the 10th of January the next year. However, I've
One
just
month.
got freedom of information. The master said to the bailiff, back down, don't come out. But the bailiff came out, my son got fractured ribs.
No.
And they sold my property to a gypsy for 490,000. It was worth 1.3 million.
Now, you need to, oh my God, that's,
And I've got
That's
all
terrible.
my paperwork, Troy, in
That's
it's
terrible.
tickety-boo, because I'm old school and my paperwork will stand up to any scrutiny.
Well, right, you just reminded me of something else. We were talking about with you yesterday. Title insurance. Okay, title insurance, that's critical. Every mortgage has got an insurance, right? Now, when they bring you need to go and look at the insurance. The one, I was looking at one in somebody's insurance, and there's a nice clause in there, and it says that the insurance company is gonna protect you against all claims, against the title. Yeah. So when they threaten you with foreclosure, you take the claim to the insurance company and say, you deal with it, pay them. That's another way of dealing with mortgage. Because every mortgage is secured, it's insured. Same thing happens, if you don't pay your mortgage for 3 months, you know what the bank does? They go to the insurer and they collect the full amount.
But
How do you know
the
it's
problem
been
there
insured?
is,
I'm sorry?
How do you know it's been insured and who the insurers are?
Because you ask the bank.
European law, every financial product has
Has
to
to be
have
insured.
insurance
yeah.
policy.
Everyone has
they won't-
insurance.
They won't tell you who it is though. That's
No,
the
the
problem.
that's always
Well,
disclosure.
that's disclosure. If they don't tell you, then you stop paying the mortgage, guys. Huh?
No, you're right, Father.
This thing is simple. It's very, very simple. It's like a car, okay?
Come on guys, we're
All right, all right.
going to this, can we crack on with it?
Yeah, but maybe the clause could be changed.
So it's like when you have a car, right, and you have an accident. Same thing in the mortgage. You pay your mortgage, then you lose your job. What do? You write the insurance and say, listen, I've lost my job, could you cover me for the 3 months? Same with the car, when you have an accident, you don't pay money, you go to the insurance and say, I'd like to make a claim. So when they bring a foreclosure claim against you, you go to the insurer and say, could you please satisfy this clause here, which says you're going to defend me against all legal action against my title. Boom.
Doesn't the lender take out the insurance?
I'm sorry?
Doesn't the lender take out the insurance?
You're the lender.
Not the lender. But what they
Okay.
also do as well as the power of attorney,
Yeah, they
if
do.
you read the terms of the power of attorney, it says that they can collect money on your behalf.
That's right, yeah.
Is that what,
So it's a game. But insurance, what also, I'm going back to you with insurance, it just reminded me that if you look at your insurance, you can go back to the insurance company and say, you failed to protect my title in line with the insurance, and get them paid to pay you money back, the money that they sold the house for. That's another one. So if put insurance title, it's called mortgage indemnity insurance, that's what it's called. So you're going to ask the bank for disclosure of the mortgage indemnity insurance, and they have to give it to you. If they don't disclose, then you know there's something untoward. And it's conditional acceptance. As long as you don't disclose, I don't have to perform. So guess what? If you don't disclose at the end of 2 months, the mortgage repayments are going to stop. So that's the condition of the agreement, you see.
say if your property's been repossessed, yeah, you've lost your property.
Yep.
You go back to the lender, and the lender doesn't give you this information.
We've got to have the freedom of information.
Yeah, that's the trouble. You can do disclosure applications in court, whereby the court forces them to bring these documents. That's the same process you use when they try to sue you, okay? If they bring a claim against you, you say, okay, fine, however, I'd like to see this, and this, at the court level. Otherwise, I cannot answer your claims. You're going to ask them for the agreement, the insurance, how the securitization audit, and the accounting audit. This is when they're suing you. Because you're going to say, hang on a second, there's an error somewhere. I need to see the accounting before I pay this money. And as long as they don't produce those 4 things, they cannot proceed with their court case.
Otherwise, that's fraudulent. It's
Yeah.
extortion and capital.
Because they have no, they're claiming that you breached contract. So their claim is a breach of contract. Yet they're unwilling to produce a contract and say you breached this clause. The contract doesn't exist. As long as they cannot produce a contract, they cannot enforce anything. Okay? So insurance, another one. So that's it. These are the solutions so far. You see? So if you ever receive a claim for foreclosure, what do you take a claim to the insurance and say, deal with it? That's what you pay insurance for. All right? So title, mortgage, Indemnity insurance, that's the name of it. And that insures your title and keeps it as good title. That's what it's for. Okay? So, okay, should we do, let me do that. Right, so I'm gonna go to number 3. And then we're gonna explain what they do behind the shadows. Right, so the bank and estate and contract law does not have the authority to alter the terms of the deed. So the point is this, when you went to get the mortgage, I think most people think that, oh, the bank has money, it's going to lend me some money, I'm going to take this money, buy a house, move into the house, and I'm going to be paying them gradually over 25 years. That's what most people think, you see. That's not what happens, completely different. It's like a credit card, similar to a mortgage. The credit is created at the point of sale, you see. So when you go and use a credit card, the point where the transfer goes through, that's when the money is created. There is no money somewhere, a whole bunch of it. You create the credit when you use the credit card, you see. So you create the money when you sign the promissory note for the mortgage. That's how you create money in this fiat system, you see. Okay? So, as long as the bank alters the terms of the agreement, it's void. That's number 1. That's what they've done. They never told you they're going to sell the loan to somebody else. They never told you they won't give you any money. They never told you that they won't risk anything. You see, that's called misrepresentation. It's fraud by misrepresentation because they want you to believe that they have money that they're going to give to you. The banks are not in the business of lending money. The banks are in the business of buying and selling securities, all these promissory notes. That's all they're doing. The bank don't have any money. They don't have a single cent. You see. So that's why it's not a loan. I'm going to kill them on that anyway. On the landlord side, if any of their documents comes into you with the word loan, they're finished. On our side, we're going to murder them. We're going to explain to them what a loan is. They never give you a loan. A loan is something else. It's not what you think. For you to be a loan, I have to put my own asset at risk. The bank never risks anything when they give you a mortgage. Nothing.
They don't, not a penny.
Not a penny. Zero. Okay? So how can they demand and keep people out of their homes and send bailiffs and break doors and all this stuff? How are they doing all these things? It's because most people are in commercial dishonor. Because they've ignored or argued with the bank. You see, in commerce, people say there's only 2 valid responses. So you're going to have acceptance and conditional acceptance. And then these are in honor. And then if you argue or ignore, it's a dishonor. Most people are here.
That's because we're incompetent.
Exactly.
So I've got the competent.
So you need to be competent in running your stuff.
That's different.
No, if you simplify it, you'll be competent. If you complicate it, it's going to drive you crazy. Litigation, lawyer business, it's complicate things. You see, drag it out. You want to shrink it so it's, oh, this is my name and this is what I want. That's it. I don't want a whole bunch of stories. This is my claim. I claim this car belongs to me. Does anybody have an objection? No, thank you. I'll take it. He does, so leave it for now. You see, but that's how it works. If I come to your house and say, oh, this television belongs to me.
That's what the bank's doing.
Yeah, and I come and take it and you're sitting there doing nothing. By law, I can do that.
That's the bank's doing it.
That's common law.
That's what the bank's doing.
So that's what bank is doing. Someone say, this house belongs to me. And you are doing this stuff here. You're doing dishonor. What you're supposed to do is this. I conditionally accept to pay you if I see the securitization audit. For the accounting. Okay? For any evidence whatsoever that you gave me a loan.
Producer.
It's conditional acceptance. You're in honor. So if you write 4 or 5 letters at this level, and they try to take you to court, you have 4 or 5 pieces of evidence that you refer the judge to. You say, this clown here, or claimant, he hasn't proven their case. They haven't given me anything, so I cannot even respond to his claim. I need information so I can respond to his claim.
Honorable information.
Sufficient.
Yeah.
I need sufficient information to be able to respond to the claim.
Even at that level, you can get it wiped out because they're never ever are the claimant. Because once they've securitized it, it goes to an SPV.
Thank you. That's what you're going to go into.
SPV.
That has the legal rights. Thank you. The SPV has the legal rights to the property. Anyway, we're going to get into that. Let's just go through it. Yeah. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. The bank has no claim whatsoever on your property. Zero, you see. Okay, so.
But surely though, the SPV can only have have rights to it if you know that it actually
This is
exists.
where
Correct.
disclosure is important again.
Right, the SPV does
Yeah.
not have a legal standing neither. Why? Because they have secured the note by an unlawful means, that's all.
Yeah.
That's why
Just
they
don't know
can,
it, that means full disclosure.
that's why they can never bring a claim against you, if you know what you're doing.
Did the bank hire the court then?
Yeah.
They pay the fake judges to rule against you. Look, guys, this is it. This is what I'm talking about here. Everything they're doing is metaphysical. It's not physical. The banks are there as, you know, a river bank. They're there to channel currency, to channel the current. So a judge is just, that's his job.
He
To
sits
make,
on the bench,
you know,
bank,
to make
yeah.
sure where the currency goes. Right now, the currency is going to their bosses. And they say, oh, bring this currency to us. They're here to deprive a living man of his property and give it to the corporation. That's the entire job. So that's why the corporations have the symbols to confuse you. Everything is a corporation. You see, that's the game. So don't be duped by these clowns. Don't be duped by them 1 second. Know who you are, you're here. You're next to God. You're not a corpse. So,
You're not dead.
yeah, you're not dead. They don't see civilly dead. You're a human being. You're not a human being either. A human being is a monster. Don't use that word. So you need to know what spells you're using. If you call yourself a human being, they'll treat you like a human being.
What's that mean?
A human being is a monster.
It's a sea monster,
It's a monster with no rights, no inheritable rights, nothing. That's a monster. It's a human being, a human. So you're never a human. This is what you want to be all the time.
A living man.
Yeah.
Man or woman, yeah.
Yeah.
Or a human.
No human.
Not human.
Man or woman.
You're a man.
The trick in the language is this. Some clowns a few years ago, they took some words and altered them slightly so in their venues they can mean something else. Whereas in the regular dictionary, it says a human being is a man. When you go to Black's Law Dictionary, or the law dictionaries, it explains to you exactly what it is. So when you go to court thinking you're going to talk about a human, they know what a human is in that venue. And you're going up there to, I am a human, I'm a human. Okay, you're a human, right?
Animal man.
Bend over. Because you have no rights. Yeah, you're a human. So you need to know who you are.
Archaic language is so important.
Yes, it's a
The
language.
original language, but we don't have time to look at it.
Yeah, that's how we simplify things. We simplify things to, English is a very, anyway, sweet language, because we do it now, and it's getting very, very easy. Because you simplify things to the point where, what is your name? If you don't tell me what your name is, I will not do business with you. That's it. Boom. And if you write to me after that, I'm going to consider it harassment, and I'm going to make a claim against you. One sentence. But keep it short, okay? But the trick is the language. So, okay, right. Number 4, the existing contract. The existing conflict of interest is that the bank claim a beneficial interest, okay,
Yeah.
in a trust where there's supposed to be trustees.
That's correct.
That they've collapsed the trust. A trust agreement does not allow a trustee to run a trust for their own benefit. That's called a breach of trust. Okay?
What's an SPV?
A special purpose vehicle, that's what they call it. Special purpose vehicle. So what they do with the bank is this. They know they cannot do this, right? So what they do is they create an SPV, which is a separate company from them here, on the side. Right? And say, oh, we don't deal with this mortgage anymore. They're going to write to you. So SPV here, SPV. They're going to write to you and say the bank is, either they're acting on behalf of the bank, or they have taken over the account, and they're going to try and run you. But they're going to give it to the bank. The only reason they're creating is because the bank is trying not to collapse the trust. Because as soon as,
It's on it.
yeah, because the trustee is supposed to run the trust for the benefit of the beneficiaries.
Which is you.
Yeah? Now, they make themselves the beneficiaries, so they're running a trust for themselves.
Which you can't do, it's not a trust, that would be.
It's not a trust, it's a business.
And they call it a vehicle, because don't forget, we're operating under maritime.
It's maritime law.
So a vehicle is a ship.
Thank you. It's a vessel. It's all in the language. So our stuff, we remove all this stuff. We remove all the legalese language. Our language is very plain English. It looks childish sometimes, but that's how we have to be. In order to avoid all these convoluted words that mean nothing. You see, legalese. So you keep it simple. In our contracts, we ask them to write to us in English as well. And now they're finished.
Can't do that.
They can't write in English.
You can't do that with
You
competence.
see. But that's how you're killing them. Even when they write a claim, you don't have to deal with the claim and say, oh, sorry, condition of acceptance. I accept to be part of your proceedings if you write your claim in English, please. And take it to court, you say to the judge, I'm sorry, I don't understand this stuff. I don't know what language this is. but it looks like nonsense to me, you see? Check it out.
Because that's legalese,
Yeah,
not English.
not English. So legalese and dog Latin and legalese mixed together.
What?
Dog Latin. Dog Latin is when they write, like all capitals. That's
Glosser.
Yeah, glosser. Yeah, that's what it is. It's when you write in all capitals.
It's quite easy.
Yeah, so when they do the glosser thing, you can pick him on that as well. Because as soon as you gloss a document, it loses validity. So we kill them on the contract. We don't argue about whether you paid mortgage or whether you're speeding or none of that stuff. That's at the window. What I'm saying is your document has so many errors, you cannot use it in any court case. You need to go and correct it. Because the language is off. That's all.
Fraudulent contracts to begin with.
That's all we're doing now, because we used to go back and forth and argue, stack, and all this crap with them. There's no argument anymore. You see, it's very, very simple now. Please write them in English or don't bother. Yeah. And this is the manuals we're using. We're using Oxford Manual, or if you need descriptions, we use Black's Law. So we can find out from their own world what Black's Law say a loan is. According to your own Black's Law, this is what it says. A loan is something that you have to put some money at risk. Please show me any evidence that you put any of your money at risk. If you go to your account, it should show very clearly that on this day you gave me so much money. What's the problem? Go and print it out and show me. It doesn't have it.
Full disclosure.
There is no disclosure. There was never a loan to begin with. Right. Number 5. So the bank has securitized, has multiplied and monetized the agreement. So the bank's only legal obligation is to the SPV, not to you. Right? They have a separate agreement. This is what is called an unconscionable agreement, you see. You can always click on that. Now, number 6 is the contract entered between the bank and the SPV is to the effect that the bank administrate the account on behalf of the SPV. That's all they're doing. So they've lost standing anyway. So as soon as they sell the note, whoever has the note has standing to bring. Because the way a sale works is this. I have the mortgage here. I sell it to him. He takes the mortgage, gives me money. Now he's got the mortgage. Now he's got a right to come to you with the mortgage and say, yeah, there's some money owing to me. I bought it on this day. Okay, this is my securitization, and I want money from you. That's how it works. You see, that's the proper way of doing it. If I don't give you notice, for instance, that I'm sending you a note to him, you can't just show up at your door and say, oh, yeah, give me money. Somebody's son. Who are you? That's what they're doing with these mortgages. The companies you never heard from write to you and say, listen, we are representing this bank and we want some money off you. And you start arguing with them. And now you're dishonored. And now they're going to get you. So when they do that, always stay here. I conditionally accept to pay you the money upon proof of claim or proof, it's called deed of assignment and notice of assignment. You want 2 things, right? You want to see the deed of assignment that assigned you to come and collect the money, and the notice of assignment. That's it. If he doesn't have it, he's got to go. Yeah. If he doesn't have it, he has to go. He cannot write to you anymore. Put him in a very tight spot. Okay, these guys are finished. They have nothing. It's just us being brave and doing these things because you're fighting yourself more than anything else. You see, that's what I realized.
Just competent.
Yeah, there's no one out there. We're fighting ourselves. You see, they have no responses. You see, it's nonsense, right? Now, like I said, the bank is standing to initiate or defend a legal action in respect of the said property. So the SPVs, the word is subrogation, you see. When they do that, it's called subrogation, when they give an agreement to somebody else to go and enforce. So when they do that, they transfer all the rights that they had to that party. So the SPV, he's got all the rights to either defend a legal action or initiate one in respect of that mortgage account. And that's all there is to it.
What's SPVs?
A special purpose vehicle.
Troy, sorry to keep
Yes,
that.
yeah, go on.
But when you look at it, when they say there's a loan lodged at the land registry, so therefore when that is entered, it's never the SPV that's entered, never.
Never. It doesn't exist. You see.
So therefore, you can get the land registry on falsification and fraud for that purpose, surely.
I'm saying to people, as soon as they move, they commit a fraud. All these people I'm saying to you all the time, as soon as they move, they've done fraud.
How can they get away with that?
Because of us, we put up with it. We put up with it. We put up with it. So this is my camera, and I'm taking it, and he's sitting there saying, oh, what should I do? And asking, what should I do? What should I do? Well, say something. Do something. Huh? Well, that's what's going on. Somebody's claiming your property. and you're running around saying you don't know what to do. And they're carrying on.
And administrating it.
Yeah.
It's administration.
So it's just being competent and knowing not to be deceived by those clowns anymore. Yeah, go on.
Now, I just want to say, what I'm personally afraid of is going away and coming back and not being able to get back in my house.
How would that happen?